So hi everybody and welcome back to the C++ tutorial series for absolute beginners. This is video 44 and in this video we are learning a new keyword. It is the char keyword. Char stands for character, and a character allows only one single character in this variable name. So let's make a example. Char is a primitive type, so I can just write char in it and you see it has this blue color which indicates this is a primitive type, but very important, this blue color works only in Visual Studio. If you use another IDE, probably there is another color. So that said, char is our type, and we have not talked about types till now so much. We only know it is a restriction, and then it will say what we can save in our variable, right? And then let's create a variable name. Let's say this one character only. So my variable name is one character only. This is a declaration, and we have of course to assign here a default value, because I said when we create a declaration we should assign a default value to get not unexpected behaviors later if something went wrong. So, but what can we put in now in this character? What is the definition? Like I said, this character allows only one single character to store in our variable. So what is a character at all? Let's make here an assignment operator, and now I want to assign one single character, and I show you some characters. This is a character, yes, this is a number, but this is still a character. This is a character. Okay, this is a letter, it's a character, but this one is also a character. There's multiplication sign. Okay, so with other words, all what you can find on your keyboard, for example, are characters. All what you can see there. Interesting is there are sometimes strange symbols too, like this one, this @ sign. This one is actually a character too. But how we can assign this character now to this variable, you have to put it in single quotation marks, important single, not double quotation marks like in string. We have just to use the single one. And then we can write, for example, D, and we have now one character assigned to our character variable. So, and when we print out this one, let's do it like old time. And the output should be fairly clear. It is our D, because I saved it here and I printed it out. Very nice. But works this also with this @ sign? Because I said this is also a character, but will this work? This is a very interesting question sometimes, because it's not sure. Okay, this works fine. What happens when I write here, let's say VD, but is there something wrong here? And when we watch closely, we get no error message here. But I said this one accepts only one single character. Why is here no error message? This is a problem, and when I press now here compile, we get another problem. And another problem is it prints out here D, so it prints not even out VD. Okay. And another problem is when I close this, I have no error message. This is bad. I don't know if the other IDEs are doing the same. I don't think so, because every IDE is not similar, because they have different compilers or compiler definitions. And this one in Visual Studio is actually bad, I think, because it would be nice when the compiler would complain here, because a character means one character only, and I started this with 2 characters. And what it does is it skipped here the first one and just printed the last one. But very important here, if I write here a little bit more characters, then it will start to complain. So after 4, 5 in Visual Studio, then it starts to complain. But before it's not complaining, and that's very bad, and that can confuse very many beginners and also everybody who wrote accidentally here too many characters, because this should already give an error sign. Yeah, you see, it's not perfect sometimes. Be careful. So that's one thing. Let's talk a little bit more. But characters is interesting. So I know I can put out characters, but this character type can do more. Not only characters, something like use. Now let's write here uses ASCII code now. And I hope this is very descriptive, because I try to write old-time variables, which is very descriptive, which makes sense when you read it. And here this variable says uses ASCII code now. Okay, this variable will want ASCII code, but I wrote here a character, so it allows only one digit, right? But that's the point with this character. It's not only one digit here, it can allow also ASCII code, but then we have to use a code, and the code is just numbers, right? So something like any numbers here without single quotes, very important. And when I write something like that and print now this one too, let's print this one out and see what we have here. And uses ASCII code now. And then when I start this, and you see what we see here. So we see a V that was expected, our single quotes, and this is the character. It's saved here and we printed it out, perfect. But this uses ASCII code now. We have here wrote a random number here, and now I get this single quotation marks here. And uses ASCII code means I'm using the ASCII table, and the ASCII table has codes. Codes means here numbers, which are converted to a character on your keyboard. But let me demonstrate this you here on a screen so you can see. I found here on the web any site here, and then I opened it up and it says here the ASCII table. So the ASCII table, and ASCII means, you can read it, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. And that means this code, what we wrote here, is here the first line, all time the first line. And the thing what we saw out, the 32, let me start this fast too, and we see here this quotation marks is the output, the conversion. So let's see, where is my 32? Yes, this is here 32. Oh, I have there a space. Was this 32 or the 44? No, I wrote 34, sorry. Yes, 44, and indeed is a single quotation mark. So you see, the code is just a number in front, and this one will be converted by this character behind the scene to one character on your keyboard. This one is a representation more or less about your keyboard, right? So you can see the number, the alphabet starts actually here with 6, 5, A, B, C, D, E, the bigger ones. Then the lower ones are here, and the numbers are here. So we can test it. So yet, let's say I want print out the letter A, right? Then I can use the code 65. So here I use the code. Let's write here 65. So I expect that it prints out A now. Let's see if this is doing. And yes, indeed, it is printing the A. So you see, let me show you this one. This is just a translation, right? This one will be translated to the right side here. So you see, we can use the character in two ways. That's very important here. One way, just to print or get one character, and the other way, when you write a number without quotations here, then it will use it as a code to translate this number in another single digit, which you can find on your keyboard. That's it. That's very important, and that yeah, that is so some basic important here. Read, of course, online or on your C++ book about character a little bit more in detail, why they are using ASCII or something like why you can here convert this to characters and back to ASCII code. But here one more thing to the ASCII table. This one is just the ASCII table, but later they changed that to the extended ASCII table, which is also known as the UTF-8 Unicode. Probably you will hear about this one, this code here, because this one is used, for example, in general in Latin languages. But here, when I click here, we can see there are some other codes as well, and so on. For example, the Chinese have other signs, so we can now, if we change this one, now you can see the Chinese symbol, but then you have to say your code that you are using, this kind of code. But in general, we are using, at least here, the normal UTF-8 code, and this is only important to know later when you are working with strings and when you are working with characters, and you want get text from the website, for example, and translate it, for example, from another language to another language. Then you will work with these tables a little bit, or you will work with converter who are using these tables to convert one sign to another sign, and so on. This is a little bit more advanced stuff. The only thing what we have to know is the word ASCII you should know, and you should know that this UTF-8 is that what we use, because UTF-8 means only it is extended, so it has already that what here is, and then extended with this other signs. All right, I think that's enough. We will of course train this character much more, but in the next video we will talk one more keyword which is very important. It is a structure, actually a switch keyword, and see you there. Of course, if you have any questions, write it in the comments, and if perhaps I can answer it. And yeah, see you in the next. Bye.